Aries, what's going on? Let's see if I can give a little more light. Doesn't really do anything different. So it's been a while since I've given you a monthly. You've gotten 2 proofreads for this month. I'm going to try to get through this because, I got to get to work. I'm going back into the Pilates studio before they close it back down. Hopefully they won't. Anyway, I'm going to turn the music down just for a second, okay? Just a little bit. This sounds like Eagle Eye Cherry. Save tonight, fight the break of dawn. 1 second. Little mugwort, little cannabis action going on. Sage. Isn't that what they call mugwort? Black sage. I'm actually gonna put it in my vaporizer so I can get the full essence of the mugwort later. I need to get some fresh mugwort, organic. If you're in New York, I get my mugwort at Flower Power in the East Village. I was like, what flavor water is this? What's up in here? It's water. So let's go ahead and get started with your reading. Let's just call it, open read. Aries, open read. During the time of October, during the season of Libra. Okay, waiting for something, walking away from something. I feel like something is going to surprise you. You might have been waiting for something, and in the meantime, you may have gotten an opportunity, but the thing that you were waiting for to kind of like kick in or kind of like go somewhere actually does. And then you're like, oh, sorry guys, that thing that I was waiting for, like, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That could be it. I think I need to do this like 2 more times. Yes, Aries, absolutely. Come on, give this to me. 1 more time after this, right? Assertive intention with this shuffle. Thank you, Spirit. See something as an opportunity. See something as like a saving grace. Don't see it as a loss, because when something becomes unavailable to you, right? Something else becomes available. All right, so let me go ahead and cut these cards and read them for you, Aries. It's general. Every message won't resonate with all of you. Take what does resonate, leave what does not. Ooh, honey. Living on the edge. All right. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, living on the edge, like I just said. Okay. So, this is like standing up for something. This is like really believing in something. This is like believing in your truth and going after what you believe in. Standing up for what you believe in, really using your creativity, letting the creativity speak for itself, letting your actions speak for themselves. That's what this is talking about. And this is talking about not hesitating. Don't hesitate, right? Just keep going, keep moving forward. You know what I mean? When you start to, be a little bit unsure or become unaware, of your footing or your positioning, it's like know your position and know the people on the opposite end and what their position is too. You have to know your opponent and what they are going to do before you do what you are going to do, right? Because that's what it really is with the 7th house in Libra. It's like Aries is the first house, right? Libra is the 7th house. So we're over here looking across to see what you're going to do before we make our move, because we want to be in the advantage, and we want to have the upper hand. So this is kind of like you gaining the upper hand on the situation. It hasn't been easy, but now you feel like you're getting the upper hand. You're gaining the upper hand, and it makes you feel like you're getting closer to something that matters, something that's real. You know what I mean? And it's also just kind of like passion and fire, passions of the heart. Doing what you're passionate about doing, right? living for yourself, you know, living for your truth. That's really what this is about. And it's new creativity. If you were holding out on some form of creativity for yourself, now you're not holding out on that anymore. You know what I mean? If you were unsure to move forward with something, now it's saying giving you the green light. If you want to, you know what I mean? Go. So you look, right? Waiting for something to jump off, waiting for something to spring up, right? Waiting for an opportunity. It's like you've been spending a lot of time doing things in the meantime, keeping yourself busy, keeping yourself occupied. You know, it also is saying that you're getting bored. So you're going to have to come up with some new ways of doing things. You know, you're going to have to challenge yourself in some new ways while you wait for some fruits to grow, or while you wait for some things to prosper, while you wait for these things to happen, or you wait for them to kind of like let the energy play out. You know, you can't rush this, right? You may want to rush this growth, but you can't rush this, you know, because we're trying to cultivate something of quality, you know. This is a 3, so it's like, in the meantime, keep yourself busy doing something else, right? What are your other interests? What are the interests that surround what it is that you're already doing? You know what I mean? What can help support what you're already doing? You know what I mean? Try to figure out what that is. The 8 of Cups is talking about staying attached to something that you don't need to stay attached to. You know, and it's an emotional attachment. It's not really anything of value. It's kind of like what you might be feeling like you don't, you know, you'd rather not happen, or what your desire is. You know, you're idealizing something. Okay? You're saying like, it would be in a perfect world, but it's not. You know what I mean? And whatever it is that you're kind of like trying to hold on to from an emotional standpoint, it has to do with like not wanting to lose it, because you don't want to admit to yourself that you would have had to leave something behind, or you would have had to lose something. You know? So you're getting move forward and leave something behind, whatever that is. And then this three of wands is saying like, you already know what you have, right? Being aware of your environment, and what your environment is showing you is that you need to focus on something else now. You know, whatever that is. I'm not saying stop what you're doing. I'm saying like, if you've completed a task, begin a new one. But have it be beneficial. Have it pay off in some kind of way. You know what I mean? Have it nurture. Have it feed some aspect of who you are. You know, because the 3rd ray is Cancer, right? If we're thinking about the 7 rays of consciousness, I believe. Or just like, you know, in esoteric astrology. And you know, the Empress is pregnant, Cancer energy. Let's look at what's at the center. Bam, 10 of Pentacles. Right, what are you spending your time doing? And this is talking about something paying off. It's also talking about the hard work, the time, the effort that you put into building something. Because this is Mercury in Virgo, right? So it talks about what you're communicating. And it's also talking about looking at the details of something that you're building, or what you're trying to grow. Right? These 10s are talking about opportunities that come from creating long-lasting, you know, habits, you know, that are benefiting you in some kind of way. You know, things are adding up now. But you have to be aware of all of the different variables that add up to this one thing, this one idea. And this is not the same energy as the 8 of Cups, because this is Pisces and this is Virgo. You know, like I said, that opposition. So it could be like what's practical and what's ideal, right? What's ideal is not practical. You know what I mean? Or, yeah, sometimes what will be ideal for you may not be practical for the next. Because we're talking about opposition, and we're talking about relationships, you know? And we're talking about letting something that kind of like needs to happen. And don't force it to do or be something that it's not meant to do or be. It's like you can't force apples to grow on an orange tree. You know what I mean? You plant that seed, it's going to grow as such. Right? So this is saying that you done planted the seed already. So it's like, So for some people, it's like, what is that? It's like you might be pregnant by somebody that you already chose to like kind of break up with or leave, or like you're on the cusp of that. That sucks. Okay, the challenge is the moon, like I said. For some of y'all out there, it's not going to resonate for everybody, but it's going to definitely resonate for some. And the moon is talking about cycles of growth and learning. You know what I mean? What have you discovered right? On a spiritual level, on an emotional level, on a soulful level, where are these boundaries that are going to have to be created? You know, because the moon is talking about the fear of being on your own, the fear of being left out, or the fear of leaving something behind. You know what I mean? Because it is talking about freedom from these emotions, freedom from this fear. And the freedom from this is going to come through creativity. So I feel like some of you feel the creativity. Some of you fear something that is growing, something that is happening. Or some of you fear the direction that things might be going in, even though you had hoped for something that was kind of like this. It's weird. No, it's not. There's the moon over the Ten of Pentacles. But you know what? In esoteric astrology, on a deeper level, the moon actually rules Virgo, because the Hermit is number 9 and the moon is number 18, and that reduces to a 9. Okay? So we're talking about digesting the information that is being fed to you through a process of self-discovery, right? Exploration, that type of thing. But it's the path of exploration, the path to self-discovery through, right? So it's kind of like very much like an Odyssey of sorts. Not quite lost in it as much, but close. Moon position, or sorry, sun position. 2 of Wands, which is great. That's Mars in Aries. What am I saying? And it's in the sun position, so it has a little bit of an exaltation. But this also talks about the power of action, or where actions have led to. You know, or making a decision about how to act, or making a decision about what you want to be or what you want to have, you know, because it is a 2. It's communicating what you want, you know, being definitive about what you want, right? But it's bouncing ideas about what you want and where you want to go and where you want to live and all of that stuff too, for some of you. And it's how you want to do things for some of you, you know, belief systems, how I want to go about acting in this kind of way. You know, you could be trying to establish some sense of balance by going after, you know, higher education, or choosing to take on more responsibilities or something like that in some kind of way. You know, and the 2 of Wands is also talking about taking risks. You know, maybe you feel like it's kind of like a spiritual responsibility for you to take a risk, right? And I'm not saying doing something crazy. I'm saying doing something that you probably fear doing, and fearing it is the risk, right? Yeah, it could be travel for some of you guys. I don't know. It's just who. Yeah, and it talks about something being revealed through action. Like I said, you were going through a process of exploration, right? I'm getting exclusive. Exclusivity. Like you had to do something, or you had to realize it on your own. You had to go through it on your own. You know, kind of. Anyway, let me keep moving. Okay, in the moon position, we have the Princess of Swords. So the moon is, you know, here in the reading as the immediate challenge, or the immediate influence. And in the moon position, we have the Princess of Swords, which is talking about something being communicated, something being told, something new revelations. It's almost kind of like the Ace of Swords, right? It's new information that is going to change how you look at something. You know, you're also having to adapt to some changes, some things that are occurring. And that's probably why, you know, this 8 of Swords, which all of the 8s are of an intellectual sensibility, you know what I mean? Because I feel like this is like on the tree of life, 8 is like is where Mercury is, or something like that. But it has to do with intelligence here, right? 8 of Cups, Saturn in Pisces. Saturn rules the pages, right? The princesses. So it talks about learning some lessons in growth, right? And also being able to detach from something that was holding you back. So it talks about a detached way of thinking, or a very objective way of thinking. Take your emotions out of it and think objectively for a second. You know? Right? Because you've got to be able to see see past any fear or ego, you know, because this is air, so it's not water and it's not fire. If anything, it's going to be earth, right? Air and earth. So see the idea and see where the idea can take you, and what can happen, what can be achieved from new ideas, from being able to entertain new ideas. What can be achieved, right? I didn't look at the past position, King of Cups. Okay, so this King of Cups is directly related to nothing really, but kind of. We would say that it's related to the Eight of Cups just because the 8th house is Scorpio, right? And this is a water sign. It talks about endings and transformation and, releasing something, letting go of something, leaving one reality and going into a next, following a dream or following a path. There's something here, you've got to let something go in order to have something, And this King of Cups is in the past position. It could be talking about a person who is a water sign in your life. It's someone who thinks on an emotional level, right? That's how they communicate. And they are emotionally mature, right? So someone had to communicate in an emotionally mature way about something. And it maybe had something to do with, emotional stability. I don't know. I don't know what was said, but it was something that had to be said in order to feel empowered again, because it could have been something that was weighing on you emotionally, and you kind of, like I said, you had to stand up for yourself in some kind of way, or you had to bring stability back to a situation, and it could have involved like the mother, the father, just because the King of Cups kind of has that energy. It's Libra and it's Scorpio. So it's definitely speaking to the Mercury retrograde that's happening in Scorpio and Libra right now. So I feel like things are going to start to, I'm just going to keep going. All right, definitely some clarity. Princess of Swords in the moon position and the Ace of Swords in the anxieties. So it's almost like you got back-to-back Ace of Swords, kind of, in a way. So it really is saying, no, detach, be objective. Try to get a big picture out of this, you know what I mean? Take a breath of fresh air, get a fresh take, fresh perspective, look at it from a different angle, look at the possibilities. Don't look at what you might be losing or what you might be, you know what I mean? Because that's what this is talking about in the past, right? Somebody who was fully aware of, like, their emotional intensity towards something that they are trying to bring balance to, right? Anyway, yes, it's asking you to definitely open your eyes to some kind of truth, right? Okay? And this Ace of Swords is it's coming from the Ten of Swords, right? Actually, they're both in one and the same. So it's like a situation ended and now there's a new beginning, or you're having anxieties of a fresh start or a new beginning, or how this new beginning is going to start. And you might fear the new beginning just because you know that it's going to come from an ending that you are kind of intimidated by, or you might be anticipating and not necessarily like, oh, I love it, I'm ready for this to end. It's like, oh, I don't want it to have to be like that, or whatever it is, for some of you. For some, it's kind of like, don't get in your own way. Right, in the Mars position. Okay, something's paying off. You're seeing the reasons why, because it's a 6 related to the lovers, Mercury, Virgo, reasons why. You're finding beauty in the experience. You're seeing why something is worthwhile, And it's also being of service and sharing something, nurturing someone's experience. It's like everyone who is involved is gaining something out of something. And that is causing you to see, its attention, So you're starting to realize how there's potential, right, for you to make more money, or for you to invest in something else, something different, Because the moon in Taurus is like exalted, right? That's kind of like the energy of Taurus, like getting a different, sensibility. It's sharing, it's caring, it's information, it's teaching, it's valuable information, right? It's learning how to compile and sell information. And this information could come in the form of something. It could be merchandise. It could be instructional videos. It could be, something like that. Because it's very mercurial with the 6. And it's also very body influenced with it being Pentacles and it being Taurus and it being the moon in Taurus. So it has to do with like tactile things, or stuff. Inventory. What do you have in your wheelhouse? Right. Bankable. It's an opportunity to make some money here. Mars, Venus. Right? Action results. Okay. That's great. So this is good. You're being shown something, and this objectivity, you being able to see something in a different way is affording you this. We're listening to Thievery Corporation. I thought I was going to have to pull some clarifiers, but I guess not. Yes, like I said, you got 2 exalted cards here, right? The end of this, the last row of this reading is hitting it. Ace of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, the World card, yes. Growth. Expansion too, because in esoteric astrology, the Earth rules Sag. And this is the world, which is what? The Earth. Come on now. And that's in the Venus position. This is the world, a number 3 major arcana card deriving from the Empress that came before. Related to that in the Venus position. So this is good. This is a good old payoff, honey. Harmony, right? I'm getting a trine energy. Goodness, right? And then that 6 of Swords talking about changing your mind, changing your ideas, innovative thought processes that lead to a different result, lead to different projects, different products, different results, different things, right? Oh, I never thought that this would be something. Just like I never thought that I would be a tarot reading astrologer. Actually, I kind of did. Princess of Cups. Definitely. New chance for emotional satisfaction. New feeling. New satisfaction. New sensation. New vibration. No hesitation. Touch the sky. Okay. Let's see what your last card is. Count. Okay. And wait, I don't know. I'm so crazy, right? And I got coffee in there that I heated up 8 times over a course of 5 hours, and I have not had one sip yet. But it was fresh from this morning. I told you it was going to be about money. It was going to be about business. Now it's time to do that thing that you've always been thinking about doing all this time. Where's the merch? Where are the videos? Where's the information? Where's the stuff? Right? What are you doing? This is body too. What's important? What matters most? How are you prioritizing your time? And it's breaking free of unhealthy patterns that aren't paying off for you. How are you just kind of letting good energy go down the drain, honey? Where is it? That's for some of you guys, Aries, right? And you're never usually lazy, right? This is number 15, so it's the first stage of spiritual enlightenment. So it's talking about being aware of where some change has to occur, but it's you're going to have to make the effort for the change to happen, right? And it's okay, because the wonderful thing is that you got the 6 of Swords, and then you got the devil, the Trinunos, right here, which is the god of the earth, or what, a god of the forest. Got a bust of him hanging right there. Wait, look, you can't see it, but I can point to it. It's right there. Anyway, So yeah, you know, you are bringing focus and attention to things that need to shift and change, right? What are you going to build? What are you going to do now? What are we making? What are we cultivating? What are we making these adjustments and these shifts? Because this is Saturn, and Saturn definitely rules Aquarius, where Mercury is exalted, and Mercury is the sixes, okay? Work. Don't be afraid of the changes that are happening, right? You know? Make sure you keep yourself safe and take yourself seriously. I don't know. Take safety seriously. That's what I'm saying. Take safety seriously. All right, thank you, Aries. That's going to be it for you. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment on the video. Follow me on Instagram. I am Providence Tarot there. My personal account is NYC Kendrick. Yeah, and I do have 2 other accounts, but the one that you should probably be following out of those 2 is The Tongue Pop. Bye.